Okay, so yesterday I put up a video about kind of how to set points, and in that I said I really don't like points. They piss me off. It's 2022. Electronic ignitions are a hell of a lot better than they were in the late 70s, early 80s, and price is about the same. Why not get up to date? So I have the points out of this shovelhead we were working on yesterday, and I tossed in my favorite quick and easy ignition, which is this Dyna S electronic ignition. I buy most of my shit from JP Cycles, but this comes with a coil and your ignition. So okay, let's go over this. Remove the points cover. Your points cover probably won't say Studebaker, but it's going to be right there held in with Allen keys or screws. Take it off. Remove the two standoffs holding the point plate to the engine and unplug the wires going to the points. Your standoffs are these, and once you take those out, you can just pull your whole points assembly off. Okay, so now we have our points assembly, and the wire going to the points assembly is this one, and it wants you to unplug it. I just cut it because you need to run the other wire anyways. And now we can take this and throw it over by the trash can. I'll get that later. I don't play basketball. Let's see. Coat the advanced assembly shaft with light oil. So you're going to have this looking thing. It's gonna be exactly like this, and that's what this bolt is holding in, right? So you pop this bolt out, and that bolt is long and skinny, so be careful. It's a 9/16 head, and it doesn't take much to snap those off, and then you're gonna have a bad day. So you pull that bolt out, and you're going to have this, right? This is your kind of firing cam, has your lobes on it, and it tells your points, opens and closes your points for fiery, no fiery, right? Okay, so we take this part off, and it can join the points plate in the trash. We're going to keep your advanced unit. I put a new advanced unit in here. They're not real expensive. This is the old one that came out. It's in fine condition, but why not put a new one in while you're in here? Okay, so it says to coat your shaft in light oil. And if your springs are rusty, or if you can't open this thing up real easy, you know, maybe put a little bit of oil on your springs and just work it back and forth, or put a new one in. So after that, you have this black piece right here. So let's see. Coat this magnetic oil, slip the magnetic rotor over the shaft, push the rotor down until it engages the weights on the advanced assembly. Only goes on one way. Ensure that the rotor rotates freely on the fly shaft. Cool. Okay, so we put this in, this is in, you put this over it, which has the same grooves as this. And when you get it on right, it sits flush, right? So that bolt tightens down over top of it, and this still has free movement. And you can move it back and forth. Okay, I'll put your bolt back in. I don't know the torque spec, but not that goddamn tight. See, install the advanced rotor assembly on the engine, making sure the pin on the advanced assembly is engaged in the slot on the engine. That is back here. This pin right here, there's a pin on your engine shaft. It goes in. Install the bolt and tighten. Ensure that the rotor is still free to rotate. Rotating. Remove the wire that connected the points and ignition coil. It's over there. Install the ignition assembly using the two standoffs previously removed, and tighten. The plate should be oriented so that the power module is at 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock, depending on the model. Yeah, we're 12 o'clock-ish. The timing's already set on this. This is where this bike's happy. So start off at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Sorry. And yeah, and then you're going to run your wire. Route the wires Route the wires from the ignition assembly out of the hole in the engine case and over to the ignition coil, being careful to avoid the exhaust system. So I'm going to take this, and it will go through there when I get done, but don't do that, that's bad. And then route it back up into your wiry, hosey mess. And in that points video, we kind of went over coils. So we have a brand new Dyna coil that came with this kit. It's beautiful. This is my test light. It can set off to the side. Bam. So to take your coil off, easiest way that I do this, it takes a couple seconds, is you pop this bolt, you pop this bolt, and this whole fucker will pull off. You disconnect that, set the wires off to the side, okay? And that's it. There's 7/16 back in here, 2 of them. You take those off. There. Pretty easy, but those are real hard to get to, so it's quicker for me to just take that off. And then behind this plate, you can't see it here, but behind this plate is your terminal block that controls all your wiring going to your back fender, turn signals, whatever. And then you can see what kind of absolute hell lies back there from your 40 years of previous owners. Grab our instructions here. Okay, so route the wires from the hole over to the ignition. Don't touch the exhaust. Kind of check. Crimp the connector supplied with the kit onto the ignition wires. Connector. If you want to solder, you can solder. Crimp's fine. Connect the blue wire from the ignition assembly to the ignition coil where the points were previously connected. Now normally, the way you can figure this out is if you come over here, it's still going to kind of have a points here, and then this is your 12-volt wire coming from your system. And you can tell that. You can put your multimeter on here, put a test light on there, whatever. And this is, oh, excuse me, heartburn. This is what's going to go power up our module, and this is where our points would fire from, okay? So, that completes the wiring. Make sure the connections are correct. If the wires are reversed, the blue wire is connected to the 12-volt. If blue goes to here, your ignition will be destroyed instantly on power up. Don't do that. So now we turn our page. So these are for fancy engines that have 4 spark plugs. This is a 70 something, maybe shovelhead. Like I said, there's no damn numbers on it. So we're going to this one. We got 12 volts coming into our white, right? And our blue is on the other side. So, static timing. Connect a 12-volt test light from the blue coil wire to ground, like your engine case. I have the back fender off, so I'm just hooked up to the ground wire. So now we will connect that. Boink. Right back there to where it was. Okay. Remove the crankcase timing hole plug. Went over that yesterday. There's a plug on this side of your engine. Pull it out. God damn. It's like we're mechanics. Turn ignition on. Let's go back to here and make sure you don't have your wires crossed. Click. Ignition is in the ON position. While holding the rotor. Okay, this, I'm going to read this to you and then I'm going to go over the way that I do it. While holding the rotor in the advanced position with the flyweights against their stop counterclockwise, slowly rotate the engine forward in the direction until the test light becomes bright. That advanced mark on the front cylinder should be center in the inspection hole. If it is, proceed to step 7. Okay. That's your advanced mark. We're about 12 o'clock in the hole. If the timing mark is not centered, loosen the standoffs holding an ignition plate and rotate the plate to advance or retard the timing. And then retighten the standoffs, recheck timing. Okay, so the way I do that is you put this son of a bitch in 4th gear, you smack the back wheel, and you just kind of watching that hole. I don't have my light up there right now, but you smack the wheel watching that hole until your timing mark comes up, okay? So our ignition is on, so now we come back around here to the other side. And, oh, you sit down in front of your ignition, and I have a test light There we go. We'll put that on top of the gas line. That's safe. So when we turn our shit counterclockwise, our test light lights up. When it's back to normal, she's off, right? So if you turn your thing to counterclockwise and your light doesn't light up, if you don't have one of these, it's a bitch to turn your motor over from this side. You know your timing's right. Release these two. Rotate this shit until you're holding it in the advanced position. Take your other hand, which I have on a phone, rotate this across until you get your light at its brightest, right? That's it. Timing set. Tighten those down. Get this off the exhaust. Smash go buttons. Then see what else is fucked up on your old piece of shit shovel head. So, there you go. Dyna S ignition kit with a new coil. How you set your timing. And as far as I know, I've never had a shovel or had to mess with timing on any of my other, you know, not shitty old bikes. Pretty sure that works on any electronic ignition. Maybe Evos, I don't know. Now on my other shovels, I like to run that. It has its own timing light built in. You can hook up those, you can set your RPMs. It's kind of a little computer, but they're sort of expensive. So it is what it is, but that's what I like to run. All right, guys. Hell, this is 2 videos in 2 days. This is moving pretty good. We'll see what the next one is. I don't know. Next time I do maintenance on this, I'll toss something else up. Appreciate it.